Shalom, shalom everyone. How's everyone? I hope everyone has slept well wherever you are. Everyone has had a good morning so far. Now, I haven't done a video like this before yet, but I will, since I have been woken up to who I truly am as a Hebrew Israelite. I want to say the things that are different now as a Hebrew Israelite between things I learned, between things I did not know as a Hebrew Israelite. So, this video is going to be about why I don't go to the Christian church anymore. And I'll list off the reasons off my hands. Depends if it's going 1 to 5, 1 to 10. There's a lot of reasons, but let's get to the point. First of all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High. Praise you, Yeshua Mashiach. Now, to this video, I'll say this. I'll list 5 things I do not like about the Christian church. Number 1 is the woman worship. The woman worship in the church is unbelievably unreal. I'll give you an example. When I used to go to the Christian church, right, there was, what's it called? There were girls everywhere, you know what I mean? Wearing yoga pants, leggings. And by the way, when I was in church one time, back when I used to go to church before I knew I was a Hebrew Israelite, I seen this one girl stand up wearing leggings or yoga pants. I don't care what they are. They still outline the shape of their body anyways. But I seen this girl wearing yoga pants, right? Black yoga pants, mind you. And I still seen the outline of her panties when she stood up. One time I was in a Christian church, and this girl was wearing a skirt that was so low. I was like, how in the world are you even allowed in church like this? And this isn't the only thing. You'll see their popped out cleavage. You'll see them, darn, I haven't really seen this. Actually, no, I have seen this. I've seen girls in shorty shorts in church. And then the church leaders won't correct the girls on this, while the men are dressing in casual wear, pants, shirts, usually nothing revealing because they're men. And 2, they don't usually dress promiscuous, as in they don't dress with shorts half their butt cheeks. So I was tired of the woman worship. I was tired of that. Yeah, I need to go through all this, and all this to please a woman. For one, you don't need to. This is what you need to do. You need to please Yeshua HaMashiach. Okay, He is your everything. Your world. Okay, Yeshua Mashiach, is your world. Yeshua Mashiach is my world. Okay, it's what He wants. Okay. And 2, in the church, they make it like men were created for women, which is not true. Women were created for men. And so many people, because of the church teachings, have wasted their strength upon a woman, have suffered. The church will be like, as a matter of fact, that will be my second point. My first point's out of the way. My second point, the marriage license that the church literally pushes on you when they say you need a marriage license to get married. You don't need a marriage license to get married. You did not need a marriage license from the government to be married. Okay? What real biblical marriage was back then was where if you went to the father and you asked for his blessing for his daughter, for her to become your wife, and usually she would be a virgin, and what you would do is the man would pop her cherry and she would become his wife, and what would happen is that the sheets would stain blood, and that the fathers or something like that would take the sheets with the blood on them and use it as like a kind of like a receipt, or kind of like proof, like, yeah, she was a virgin when you took her, so therefore you're not scammed and I'm not scammed, for it was a two-way deal. You know what I mean? And in case if the man was like, let's say the man who popped the wife's cherry was like, hey, this woman was not a virgin whenever I met her. She's actually a hoe or whatever that stuff. What would happen is that the elders the elders would go to the father who he gave the to, and check the sheets of the blood as proof, and they would examine the sheets to see if the husband was ripped off or not. And if the sheets were legitimate, saying that she was indeed a virgin when you took her, then the husband would get chastised, and he would never be allowed to divorce her according to the law. Um, but yeah, that's my second thing with the church is that you do not need a marriage license to get married, because when you get a marriage license, guess what? You are giving your strength unto a woman. Okay? And this society is so geared towards women that she's going to take more than just half. Okay? She's going to take her retirement. Basically, she takes everything you worked hard for. She doesn't have to work hard for it at all. Okay? She could just take it. You know what I mean? Sometimes be so bad you'll be paying alimony that's super, super expensive. Or she'll take the kids and she'll decide when you get to see them or not, right? Even though the kids are supposed to be the man, by the way. Or and on top of that, I'll say this, is that she will use the kids against you, right? And it's not good at all. It's just messed up how the world is. You know, again, it goes how this society makes this Roman society love woman worship, especially here in America. Oh my gosh. I know Sweden's bad too. You know, oh my goodness. You know what I mean? And yeah, and if you're married for 10 years, you have to pay her alimony for the rest of your life. What for? Sometimes she could retire off that alimony, you know what I mean? And not do anything. This wicked society. I mean, my third reason is this, is that they say that the laws are too hard to keep. Look, when you're in church, you at first are like, okay, maybe the laws are too hard to keep and blah 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 blah, because this is what they tell you. This is how they indoctrinate you. You know what I mean? They say all you need to do is to keep the Ten Commandments. And me, as a child growing up, I felt that I was never doing enough to please the Lord. I was like, even though I may be keeping the Ten Commandments, I still don't feel like I'm doing enough. There has to be more uh, to please the Lord and stuff, right? Because at this point, I just don't feel like keeping these 10 is not enough. And really, we would really just keep the 9. We wouldn't even really keep the Sabbath. Sabbath would just be a 2, 3 hour Sunday, which the Sabbath wasn't even on, you know? And, but when I went into the Word and the 613 laws, let me clarify from what the last video, okay? Or even though there's 613 laws, not all 613 laws directly apply to uh, not all 613 laws uh, directly apply to you all the time, okay? For instance, priests have their set of laws. Women have their set of laws. Children have their set of laws. Me, as a man, I have my set of laws, okay? Let's say if I have men servants and maid servants, right? They have a set of laws. I have a set of laws too with them. Let's say I have a field and stuff like that. I also have a set of laws. Basically, the law is so righteous. Okay? When the church says keeping the 613 laws is too hard to keep, look, it's not. Okay? Not you don't even need to keep all 613 laws, okay? For instance, where as a man, one of those laws is do not wear what applies to a woman, right? A lot of men are already keeping that law. Some gay men, want to dress like women. Hopefully they repent. If they don't, the Lord will get them. But a lot of men or from what I've seen, are keeping the laws of not to dress like a woman. People keep the now that law is not too hard now, right? Or the Sabbath. The Sabbath isn't even hard. Okay, what you do is you just prepare in advance so that when the Sabbath comes, you have all you can eat. And the Sabbath is not supposed to be a day of, oh my goodness, it's the Sabbath. Oh my goodness, I can't wait till the Sabbath is over. You shouldn't be looking forward to being the Sabbath is over. You shouldn't be like, oh my goodness, only 10 minutes before the Sabbath is over. Oh my goodness, I can't wait till the Sabbath is over. No. You should be like, oh my goodness, the Sabbath is so awesome. This Sabbath is honestly a time of just rejoicing, resting, and just taking a day from work, you know? And it says from keeping the Sabbath, from one of my videos you've seen, that if you keep the Sabbath, the Lord will cause you to ride on highs, okay? That's my third reason, by the way. They don't teach you the real way to keep the Sabbath. My fourth reason is that they say they teach you not to keep the laws. They say it's impossible for you to keep the laws. So the first reason was the woman worship. The second reason was the marriage license. The third reason was they say it's impossible to keep the laws, statutes, commandments. The fourth reason was they tell you that it's not possible for you to keep. The fourth reason is that they don't teach you how to correctly keep the Sabbath. Because while they're on the Sabbath, guess what they'll still be doing? Buying and selling and stuff like that. My fifth reason has to do a little bit with the fourth reason where they said the law is done away with. But they say you get to eat what you want. Tell me. Okay? They say, oh, in Acts, Peter had that vision and stuff. Hey, look. The law is not done away with. You still need to keep the law. You still need to keep the Sabbath. I've even heard where people are like, you don't need to keep the Sabbath. The law's done away with. Huh? And it's even in the Ten Commandments. Okay? Now, I'll give a new fifth fun reason since that's so close to the fourth reason. The fifth fun reason is in the church, they gloss over who the fake Jews are. They say the Khazars are the real Jews. They say, yes, the Jews over there in the Middle East occupying, really, they're stealing our land. But they say that the Khazarians in the Israel are the true Jews. And the thing is, they're not. Check up King Bolin in the 8th century. Alright? The Jews stole our identity as Hebrew Israelites. While we were called black, while we were called niggas, while we were called Negroes and all that stuff, we were made a byword throughout all the nations. And we were one of the only people shipped throughout the whole world that came on ships, slave ships. Right? And thing is that we're actually royalty. We come from a chosen seed. We come from the seed of Jacob. We are the real Shemitic people. And thing is that they'll just take the blind truth that the fake Jews are the real Jews without even doing research on it or trying to question it. I thank the Lord the Most High so much for waking me up upon this. But so far, those were just my 5 reasons on those specific reasons of what I don't like about the church. And now I'll go into the other reasons. Easter. At first, they make you think Easter is good, but Easter is not good. For one, rabbits do not lay eggs. 2, Yeshua Mashiach did not raise up on no Easter, okay? Second reason, Christmas. Yeah, it's pretty pagan as it gets. Okay, we don't even need to gloss over that. We could just speed that, okay? The third reason is that this was a reason which I seen from a brother named Kabir laid it out. And this was a very good reason, is that and the church, when they say they love you, you have to take it as face value. Even if they've done you wrong more times than you could count, they say, "Oh, but I love you," and you had to take it as they love you, right? But the thing is that if you look in the law, love is actually an action. How do you show do you love me? Do you love the Lord? Because if you love the Lord, then I'll know that you'll be able to love me too, as a brother. You know what I mean? For instance, love is shown through action. Love to them is shown through emotion. And now I'm gonna get to the fourth reason. It's very emotional. It's not based much. It's based on knowledge, very little, but it's based a lot on emotion. Sorry. When you're in the church service, right? They say, "Oh, this is based." When you're in a church service, they literally go emotion deep, all the emotion stuff like that. And there's a way the Lord wants to be worshipped, okay? But they go all through in emotion. You know what I mean? And at first it seemed like, and usually the pastor would be the ultimate hype man. And at first you'll feel good at the service, but if you're not keeping those commandments and laws, man, that church service didn't do much. It made you feel good, okay? 5. 5. The leaders in the church. Now this one I had to think about, maybe quite just a little bit. But the leaders in the church are very, very, I guess, soft. They're very soft. They're very afraid to lose their following. If they were to say, "Hey, ladies, you have to dress like this. Hey, you can't eat this, blah, blah, blah." They become very soft, and they become more and more government run, as in the government controls what they teach nowadays. And the thing is that when the government's controlling what they teach, it's kind of like a slave Bible. Did you ever hear, did you ever read about the slave Bible, or the slave Bible, and the white master used the slave Bible to keep uh my ancestors, my people, the true Hebrews asleep, to take identity. It's kind of like that a little bit, where the government is kind of like, all right, church, you could teach on this and this, especially if you see the 501c3 churches, right? And I'd be like, oh, so it's a little bit like the slave Bible. Like, you don't really get the milk and the food that you need to eat. You know what I mean? And that's why I just want to come and honestly just glory to the Lord. And I'm gonna be doing a video on the COVID-19. But right now time is just, this video is gonna take a while to upload. So till then, shalom.